Welcome to the Gracie Academy. Hidon Gracie, Henry Gracie. In 1993, our father created the Ultimate Fighting Championship to showcase the effectiveness of jiu-jitsu to the world.
And now that all professional fighters have added it to their arsenal, we're breaking down precisely how they're using it so you can add it to yours.
Let's do it.
Saitama, Super Arena, Japan, UFC 144.
Japan is a good crowd, you know.
Man.
Almost as good as Brazil, I hear.
What do you remember from when you were in Japan and Hoist's fights back in the day?
The respect's a whole different level. All American fans should just watch the Japanese observe the fights and how there's almost like.
Have you ever heard them boo?
No.
I don't think I have
think
either.
so.
Yeah, and what the most fascinating part is when there's a grapple session and it's like on the ground and it's like very slow positional advancement, they just sit there and go, ooh.
They're trying to understand.
Yeah, they really respect everything. I think that they're educated enough and respectful enough to know that if those two guys have been training their whole lives to get to that one guard or that one ground fighting position where they are just holding each other and trying to analyze each other.
As a fan, you can't even say too much.
You don't even qualify to boo.
It's like, oh, or ooh.
Yes, or ah. Yeah, it's very cool. And if they're not making any noise, I mean, it's silent in there. You heard Joe talking about it in the commentary. He was saying, man, it's like there's a cage fight in the church right now. That was the best line of the night. Good one, Joe. You guys, so we got a lot of calls, a lot of email inquiries, a lot of Facebook posts about this sequence between Hioki and Palashevsky. Okay, it was the second fight on the main card, and it was in the first round. There was a beautiful little sequence where Hioki got up to the ground, got to the side mount, was able to get like a side mount. Was going for the side mount crucifix type position. He was here, he had the underhook. He did a good job of keeping his head on the ground so that Palashevsky couldn't get his hand in front. So he was really blocking this a lot, trying to isolate this arm, but a lot of times he would push it down, he would get his hand back inside, so it never really got isolated. Finally, Bart brought his hand back inside here, and after so many minutes of, or for what seemed like so many minutes of inability to get out of the side mount, he decided to do a risky, but commonly used when things aren't going according to plan, side mount escape.
It's cool that he waited though. He knew it wasn't the right way to go.
He knew it. You could see how long it took him.
He said, okay, you know what? I can't get out. I might as well try it.
So when you clear this arm and you can cross the border right here, you can roll out this way to your knees. He bridged, he rolled, and then we ended up here. And Hioki immediately trapped his arm and got the over-under.
Now, did he trap it on purpose, or did he throw the hook in so fast and Bart's arm was just there?
We'll never know, but it was nice. He threw it really high hook. I don't think he was opposed to this idea.
Had both feet in.
This one got it. So now look what we end up with. Basically an over-under, and almost like a reverse triangle setup, almost over the shoulder, leg under. But from here, ultimately he's isolating this arm. Choke possibility, but Bart was tucked in tight. So you'll see Hioki start to climb out to this arm. This leg comes over the neck eventually. Boom, like this. And he starts to stretch the arm out, right, freeze. When he did this, I thought it was going to evolve into a reverse triangle that way. It's hard to do because it's trapped. Yes.
It's very hard, yeah.
This.
But he got long legs though, so.
It could have almost evolved to that. So I was looking for that, but the fact that the legs were in the middle made it hard for them to slip out to the outside.
One of the downfalls of having your arm here is that you are kind of like, I don't really have the back. Going back a step.
Yes.
When I'm here, in a sense, he's already a little bit escaping right now.
Out the back door.
If I had this, then there might be more chance for this, but maybe his game was to go for the arm.
Right.
So therefore, I'm a step closer to what?
Nice. Here. Boom, go back. So he was here, he stretched the arm out pretty nicely, and you see Bart, but the problem is, because there's no inside shoulder control, you can't really hyperextend the arm on the highest level right now. My shoulder's too free. So Hioki, very intelligent, brought his shin in front to get a little more shoulder pin and a little more face pressure. From here, Bart, of course, starts to feel the threat. Hioki puts some hips into it, and then Bart rolls right here. But his hand ends up under on the roll, like under the leg.
Boom, he brings the leg in front.
Now let's talk about this, you know, how he was
from here, basically the arm starts to twist and his body moves away a little bit. And the reason the body is able to move so well is because, turn a little bit right here, is if my foot was here, I would have a little bit more body control. But the foot landed near the neck. So the body has much more freedom to twist, and therefore it's affecting my arm lock right here. And he gets up, go ahead, removes the legs, hoping for this. But obviously he kept the head down and your hips up. Yeah. Head down and hips up. There was really no neck to catch. So he turned into omoplata. And then from here, grabbing onto this leg right here, maybe under or over?
Yeah.
Kind of holding this leg, he stretched and then a sweep happened. Boom, they went on top, ended up in the guard.
Yeah, all in all, it was just, I mean, what was your, I mean, it was just beautiful.
The thing is that they're very common to go from the back to an arm lock.
Arm lock to a triangle.
Yeah, these sequences are they happen a lot with us ourselves also.
Arm lock to a triangle, and then a failed triangle when the head slips out to omoplata.
It's very
That's
natural.
a natural chain in jiu-jitsu, and it was just so cool to see him doing it so fluidly against such a skilled opponent, you know? Very nice.
I liked a lot how right when he landed in the guard, he started picking him up and bringing him over to the fence. So as if all those submission attempts wasn't enough, now it's like, yo, I'm going to use the fence and beat you up.
Yeah, it's very good. Very good.
Just the mindset, he really wanted to win.
So beautiful sequence. Just wanted to kind of point out a few details there. People were confused as to why the arm didn't break. That was the #1 request.
Yeah,
explain why it didn't finish. And the answer is anytime you go, here's the moral of the story.
Hardy, same thing.
This is the most important thing, you guys. If you want to break an arm, you have to control the body. Because if the body moves, the arm angle of break is no longer effective. If you want to break like a wrist, you have to control the forearm. Because if he just puts pressure on my wrist right there, I can move away. But if he puts pressure there and controls this, it breaks. Got it? If you want to break my finger,
You can't just break the finger.
I'll move it down. You gotta break the finger and you gotta somehow hold the wrist. So whatever you want to break or choke or damage, you gotta control the next.
The base,
the base of whatever joint that is. Boom or boom. You gotta control the next piece of the puzzle. You want to break an ankle, you better control my leg or at least my lower leg and my knee to where the ankle can't slip away or twist out. So it's all about controlling here. You want to break my toe, I'm going to break your face.
You want to break someone's neck, you want to guillotine someone, you have to control their hips.
Yes, that's why throws us right into our next fight.
Oh, wow.
Which is the couple of guillotine attempts that Benson had on the champ. Frankie, the former champ, Frankie Edgar, right? Benson shot some nice guillotines. Of course, Frankie, in preparing for this fight, knowing Benson's guillotine shooting capabilities, trained guillotine defense on the highest level, I'm sure. And yes, to control the neck, you got to control the body in such a way that allows you to put pressure on those arteries. So round 4, somewhere in round 4, Frankie shoots in, gets going for his double leg that he did successfully several times during the fight. Even though he couldn't hold Benson down, he was able to connect and put him on his butt, at least for a second. Shot in, got the neck wrap. Benson shoots his arm in guillotine quick. He wraps it, and then I think the surprise comes from the fact that when he wraps, so let's say Frankie was here, boom, he'll shoot it, and he jumps guard so fast, he doesn't give you a chance to respond previously.
Yeah.
So, like from here, if I, boom, I jump, boom, and he lands so high and aggressively in the guard that that you really can't do anything about it. So he had the neck wrap. Now, just to be clear, at the end of the fight, Joe asked Benson in the interview, he said, Benson, what happened on that arm in guillotine? Why didn't you get it? And then Benson said, well, he moved the right way. He moved the right way.
So that tells you there's a right and a wrong way to move in every single situation.
Correct, but here's the tricky part. He didn't mean right in terms of right and left.
No.
He meant right in terms of correct way. So some people at home were taking notes saying, when caught in arm in guillotine, move the right.
Because he actually moved to the left.
It's left.
He actually moved to the left.
Yes, and this guillotine, if it was this way, it would have been the right. So then his statement would have been more accurate. But what Benson really meant is he moved the correct way, which is moving to the left in this case. Here's the deal on how you have to squeeze the arm in guillotine. When you squeeze a normal guillotine, you wrap the neck, you grab your hand, there's no arm. So from here, it's all you have to really do is have a nice triangle, lock up or crank feet cross, pinch your knees, and then just pull your hands up and just push your armpit down and just kind of squeeze straight away. With the arm in guillotine.
Okay, real quick, that one is a little bit, there's a little risk of what? The head slipping out.
Correct.
People like the arm involved because if there's no arm, and it's real slippery, boom, the head might slip out.
And it allows you to use this arm to do whatever you want to hurt me, right? So the idea of wrapping the arm, it really just kind of secures it more. Now, to squeeze this choke, you guys, it's not about pushing him away and pulling the neck. Rotate back just a little. For the arm in guillotine, my goal is not to stretch him out, it's to curl him down. I want to put heat on his head, on my hip, as much curl this way as I can. Now go back. Now so much so that if I can, I want to scoot my hips out and I want to basically, look how I scooted my angle. I didn't want to have a straight guard here. I even turn my hips, and now my hips are removed, and I'm literally, so less than pulling my hands, less than I am pulling my hands through the neck, I'm driving heat on's head through the choke. Now, what Frankie did here is he didn't allow this angle and this curlage to exist. He hugged the hip, he walked that way, and he started putting a lot of pressure over here. So now I can't curl that way. And that's why you're able to see in the camera, Frankie's face was fully exposed from the camera angle here. And then he started peeling at the fingers right here, pulling at the hands, and then eventually his head slips out, boom, and he gets up. So hugging the hip on this side, walking to the opposite side of the choke. Choke, opposite side. But the key is whoever controls the hips, if he keeps my hips in and he's able to walk around them, then I can't obviously, right, do the curl over here. Look at my hips.
And why is the curl so important?
I think
why not because my armpit, right, is a little bit protecting my neck.
Oh yeah, if I squeeze straight.
Yeah, because right now his arm is, let's just say there's an angle, downward angle.
Yeah,
it's almost like a V on one side of my chin right here. When he hips out, it's like a straight bar across my neck.
Yeah.
So it goes from this kind of choking in my neck to when he hips out, this blade just goes right through my throat.
And then you're pushing with the armpit down and it just shoves them into this, so it just amplifies the angle of the blade on the neck.
It's a very smart understanding of the defense to, as soon as you're caught in the arm in, because your arm is in, your arm is very prepared to hug the body.
Yeah, but people don't do that a lot of times. They do other things with their hand. That's why people still get caught.
Oh,
they don't understand how you have to manage the hips beneath them to make sure that the exposure of the arteries remains clear and safe for the blood flow.
So that understanding of how to hug the body and fall to the correct side is probably what allows Frankie to keep going for double leg takedowns.
Yes.
He's not even fearful of Benson's guillotine.
Yeah.
Because he knows that he has it covered. If you wrap my neck with the arm in, I just fall to the side, no big deal. He's probably done it 100 times.
Yeah, and he probably, of course, he trains with Uncle Hanzo. So, and Hanzo's very good also at that arm in guillotine. So it's like, I'm sure he practiced that and went over that. And he trains with Ricardo Almeida also, great instructor as well. And I'm sure that's all they did is wrapped his neck up. And if those guys can't choke him, there's no way Benson's going to choke him. Great fight overall. Congratulations. Benson, Henderson, incredible. New champ, and definitely has what it takes, man. The athleticism, the talent, and even the attitude is one of, you know, a very, very good guy. Serious champ. So hopefully he'll be there for a while. We'll see what happens. The last Gracie giveaway we talked about was a pearl weave Gracie gi for someone out there. It was our second Gracie Key Giveaway for second pearl weave.
What was the question? With Hallex, and you were here,
Hallex
right?
was here. Hallex was a special guest.
It was about
where do you train? If you train, where do you train? If you don't train, why don't you train?
And some people have actually told me I don't have a gi, so I don't train. I've gotten emails like, send me a gi. I don't train. I need a gi.
That's not a good enough excuse, by the way. If you don't have a gi, get one and make it happen.
No, train no gi.
No, how? Yeah, true that. True that. You guys, the number one excuse for not training was money. I don't have money. I don't have money. And man, that's a good excuse, but it's not the best excuse. It doesn't really count anymore. It counted when, you know, it costs $200 a month to train, but not when you can sign up online, Gracie University, learn the techniques.
No, if you just train off Gracie Breakdowns,
dang,
you'll be okay.
You'll be okay until you meet someone from Gracie University.
Yeah. Okay.
But then you guys should be friends, right? Okay, respect. So the next Gracie giveaway, for the winner of the last one was Abraham Aguilar 43. Congratulations, bro. YouTube username Abraham Aguilar 43. You won the last Gracie Pearl Weave. Let us know your size. Let us know your location. We'll ship one out to you. Next Gracie giveaway.
We want to know what your favorite arm lock was in the history of the UFC, or even maybe not UFCs. Because there are some
MMA, yes, any arm lock ever.
Any arm lock ever.
I mean, from Hickson,
just the most amazing arm lock.
Hoist, Jason DeLucia. If you've seen those Hoist versus Chemo, you can go as back as you want. Or modern day, you know, Anderson Silva versus Chael Sonnen. That was revolutionary.
Wasn't that a triangle?
It was a triangle, but he tapped the arm.
That's what I'm saying.
Right.
You have to really pay attention to these fights, because sometimes we think we know what it is, but we don't.
Stand up, please. Well, here's why we're doing this. Here's why we chose this submission. So that's the question of the day. Favorite arm lock of all time. And you guys, turn around first, bro. Sorry, come closer. Just follow me here.
You have your front.
I'm gonna give you a tour. I want to give you a tour on yours though. Look, you guys. Those of you who've been around with us for like 5-7 years know about the submission series. It's a series of t-shirts documenting and respecting and highlighting the top 10 submissions of Gracie Jiu-Jitsu. We started with the straight arm lock. Now, if you look at right here, you have this abstract but yet beautiful, artistically done design of the belly down straight arm lock or arm bar from the guard. That's Hito right there, belly down, smashing here, boom, boom. Chave de braço is the Portuguese translation for the straight arm lock or the arm bar. submission series, boom, and of course the most ridiculous abstract arm lock text down there. You walk down the street like this, no one's gonna mess with you, okay? And then on the back right here, check this out. Submission series in the top left shoulder blade, and then we have all the specs for the shirt right here, okay? Let me read them for you guys to make sure we understand what's going on. Technique, straight arm lock. Fact, leverage at its best. Application, hips behind your opponent's elbow, use legs to anchor onto their body, secure the wrist with both hands, drive your hips forward. Diagnosis, hyperextension and dislocation of elbow joint. Recovery time, 6 minutes if you tap, 6 months if you don't. Dang. Note, no key or code will free your foe. Once it's locked, unless the feet are by the head, like our friend.
Which it wasn't really fully locked.
It wasn't fully locked, right. It was partially locked, so the code freed the foe. Preventative measures, this is my favorite one. Keep your enemies close. Keep your elbows closer. Submission series 1 of 10, GracieUniversity.com. Obviously the place to go to learn this kind of stuff.
So you can actually maybe even learn jiu-jitsu from t-shirts these days.
Yeah.
You don't even
get. If you wear the t-shirts, imagine if someone tries to creep up on you and you have this t-shirt on. They're gonna read it and say, wait a minute.
On their way up to get you, they're gonna start
before
reading.
They mug you, they're gonna change their mind and go the other way. Submission series, you got it. It's the serious series for jiu-jitsu practitioners, and if you're a fan of jiu-jitsu, it's the way to go. Now here's the deal. These are officially released, okay? And the winner, or the person who wins the next Gracie giveaway, is gonna get the submission series. Now here's the best part, it's not the t-shirt. It's the top secret technique video that comes with the t-shirt. For those who don't know, you get a top secret technique video that only when you purchase the shirt you get this. Now obviously, the giveaway winner, we're gonna give this video to, of course, as well.
So that's what I was saying. You get a t-shirt, you learn jiu-jitsu.
Yes, you guys, our 5 favorite arm lock variations in the video, full breakdown. Okay, and you can't buy this video, it only comes with the t-shirt. So the winner of this one's gonna get that. Now, this is number 1 of 10. Be looking out for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 of 10. 10 sheets, 10 t-shirts, 10 videos, 5 favorite techniques per video, totaling 50 techniques. Since when do you get knowledge like that with a t-shirt?
It's too much, it's too much.
Does Nike give knowledge like that?
No.
Does Quicksilver give knowledge like that?
No.
Does anybody give knowledge like that?
No.
Dang.
It's ridiculous.
Right? Fashion with function.